Hi, God bless everyone. So I am going through the different dreams that I've had throughout the years about different dimensions because of a word that the Lord gave me. I'm not going to get into that right now. So anyway, as I'm going through my different dreams that I've had throughout the years, I'm coming across some dreams that I'm gonna probably go ahead and post now before I do a main video, just summarizing about 50 dreams that I've had throughout the years about other dimensions. So I'm about to play one that I had in November of 2020. And this one I know I'm to share because the Lord gave me confirmation recently, because a couple of people had the same exact dream, like very similar or the same exact dream that I had where they saw the same dimension. And it was like God telling me to share this. And here it is as I recorded it back in November of 2020. God bless you all. So I had this dream where I was in another dimension, and a dream told me I was in another dimension. And I'm only saying that because I get people asking me if I'm in another dimension. Like, how do I know? The dream literally tells me. And in this dimension, at first I was just going around, but I had a knowing that I needed to go to certain areas to check it out. And I was with Sky this time. Usually I'm by myself, but I was with my youngest daughter. And so I knew to go check out different things. Now, the way this dimension looked, it looked similar to the earth. I didn't see anything that I said, oh, that's abnormal, like the sky and everything. To me, it looked similar to the earth, except there was hardly any women anywhere. All I saw was like mostly men and male children. And I was like, wow, it's hardly any girls at all. I mean, it was like, I'm trying to think, did I see any women? I might have saw some old ladies, some real old ladies with gray hair. But other than that, it was like no women. I was like, what is this? So I'm going to different areas, and then in order to get around, I had to take the bus. Because, of course, I didn't have a car in this dimension. I'm there just looking around. So I'm asking people how to take the bus, and I had money with me. Like, a lot of times the Lord will give me money when I go in these dimensions so I can pay for stuff. And so I had this money, and I went to get on the bus to go check out different things and see this dimension. And I was like excited, like, yeah, what's in this world? But I was curious too, because like the streets and everything was showing me how empty the streets was, and even on the buses and stuff, because it was like no women around. And so the men that I saw was quiet, but I noticed they was all looking at me. Like they was all like looking at me strange, looking at me and Sky strange, like what is she doing here? So anyway, they would tell me where to go on the buses. So I'm going to this place, I'm trying to find out, what is it the Lord want me to see? And these people telling me how to get there, I thought. But then I get there and I'm like right down the block from some gigantic brothel. Like this brothel place was so big that the men and women was all in the streets. It was some huge alley. It was an actual alley, but it was like way bigger than a regular alley. It was like a expressway size street. It was massive, but it was an alley. The dream, like I have a gift of knowing a lot of times when I'm in these dimensions. And so anyway, I was like, what is this? Like, this is not where I'm trying to go. And it was like, aren't you trying to get to that brothel? And I was like, what are you talking about? No, I ain't trying to get to no brothel. And they thought me and Sky was trying to get to a brothel. And because Sky was with me and she was the same height and everything she is now. And she's tall. And I said, she's 10. I was like, she's only 10. And they was like, well, some 10-year-olds, this guy gonna say, some 10-year-olds try to look older so they can get in the brothel. And I was so mad. And when he said that to me, I saw a vision, because a lot of times I have my gift to seeing visions as well. And I saw there was these women that was like me, like the way, my age and everything. And it was these children I saw this girl, she did look like she was 10, and she had all this makeup and she was trying to look older so she can work in the brothel. But I had an instant knowing that you're supposed to be 14 to work in the brothels. But some women would pass their children off as older to work there. And I was like, oh, that's disgusting. And I was really sad for these women, and they looked so sad. Like, it showed me the older women how sad they were. Like, it was like slavery. Like, they was really sad and pitiful looking to have to work in something like that. It looked like they really didn't want to do it. Like, they really wanted to be free. Like, they wanted somebody to rescue them out of there. And it was sad. It was sad. And I was like telling him, because I was seeing all this vision in the dream and had a knowing and all this kind of stuff. Like, God was showing me stuff. And I felt like God wanted me to see like what they go through. Like, he wanted me to feel sad for them, which I did. They wanted to be free. It was sad. So anyway, I was telling him, no, I'm trying to go to the certain location. And I had an instant knowing too that I needed, or no, actually I take that back. It might have been somebody that told me, that did give me the right directions and told me I needed the number 10 bus. And this bus went through this massive alley because a guy told me, well, you need to go stand there. And I said, well, I need bus number 10. And that says it's bus number 12. And he said, oh, but number 12 will take you to your location. It just goes a roundabout way. But it will take you, because there was bus schedules, and he knew that number 12 bus was about to come, and number 10 bus was going to take a long time. And so he said, take number 12 and it will get you to where you need to go. So I went to stand there. And when I went to stand there, I was in some kind of building place. It was this massive building. It was these big buildings. And where you stand for the bus was like right at the exit of this building. Well, you know, like at an airport. Like, you know, you come out the door of an airport and you usually have to go like right across the street to catch the bus. But this was like, as soon as you come out the door, instead of taxis being there, like at an airport is taxis, there was buses that came there. So you stood out the door and waited for the bus. And so I waited there for just a little bit of time, and the bus driver came. And I told him where I was trying to go and how I really needed number 10, but I heard that he takes that stop to let me off at the right stop that I needed. And he was like, no, you trying to get to the brothels, right? Because everybody kept thinking we need to get to the brothels, because all the women was in these brothels, except for like if you was like an old woman. I had a knowing of that. Like the old women, they would be out. Like they didn't have to work there no more. But the middle-aged women, children that started at 14, it was sick. It was sad. And so anyway, I was like, no, I'm not trying to go to no brothel. And I was getting angry. Like I wanted to hit them. I was thinking like, I think I want to punch this guy in the face. Like I was getting upset. Everybody was just so shocked that we wasn't going to the brothels. Like, where are you going? Like, ain't you trying to get to the brothel? I'm like, no, dude, no. Get over it. And so anyway, he led us on the bus to take us to the stop that we were supposed to get to. And then I just saw like flashes in the dream. I saw these flashes of me and Sky trying to get to where we was trying to go, and these men was trying to get us because they thought we should be in the brothel, and they was going to put us in the brothel like by force. Every time they would be trying to get us, like we would be in front of them or something like that, and as soon as they would look away, the Lord removed us. Like we just disappeared, and the Lord translated us to a different area. He kept doing like I kept seeing these flashes in the dream of different scenarios like that. And at one point I saw me and Sky was sitting in front of somebody talking to them. And as soon as they looked away, we disappeared. And he flashed us somewhere else. And they would be looking like, where did they go? What happened? What is going on? And then I saw another flash, and I saw them literally holding me and Sky. They was like holding my arms and holding her. And they was trying, like they was like the police or something. And they was going to put us in these brothels. And because even if you had small children, like Sky was only 10, she probably still had to live with me in the brothel. But you wasn't supposed to work in the brothel till you was 14. And that's how women got money and stuff too. It was just a sad life. So anyway, they was trying to take us by force, and they had me and was holding me and holding Sky like by her shoulders and stuff, trying to force us there. And as soon as they looked away, even though we was in their arms and everything, as soon as they looked away, we disappeared. And God kept moving us to different locations. And I don't know if I said this already, but it was one point we was about to turn a corner out of an alley. And as soon as me and Sky turned the corner, because we was trying to get away from them, we wasn't running, we was just walking, but we was walking fast. And then as soon as we turned the corner and they was running and they ran up trying to get us. We had disappeared because God had moved us to another location. That was sad. God help us, Jesus. Well, Lord, please, Lord, help that dimension, Lord. And free those women, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. I mean, they was really sad, and it was like slavery. It was like human trafficking or something. I mean, it was bad. And they was just real sad, like, this is their life. It's nothing they can do. Because, yeah, they was even trying to arrest us and put us in these brothels. That's sad. I don't know what to say about that. That is sad. I mean, we've had slavery. I've seen slavery in so many different ways, with different races, or not even with a race, like different types of people. Like, perfect example with the Germans and those Ashkenazi Jews. The Germans and the Ashkenazi Jews, they the same skin, but so it was more like a background, like a cultural type of segregation. I've seen a race, with blacks and other things like that, but now I'm seeing this thing with women, and oh man, it's just so many different types of segregation and slavery. They was like the slaves, like the dream was letting me know they was like sex slaves. They were slaves. That's sad. Even though they would give them money, but they couldn't leave. Just like in slavery, there was some slaves that could make money, but they could never leave where they was at because they was owned by the people who owned the plantations and stuff. They were slaves, and that was their life. Just a life of being a sex slave. It's horrible. So anyway, that was a dream.